As I said, there is a global strategy 2063, which I think, I don't know if Egypt has this kind of strategy. Until now, we don't know in 50 years what is Egypt going to be like. But just by having this vision, and just by having the regional economic integrations, you have SADC in the south, you have the East African region, it's an economic region of East Africa, you have the COMESA, and you have the ECOWAS. All these regions are very much independent from the point of view of production, from exchange of products, exchange of and freedom of movement of labor. We in the North African region, we have not reached that stage. You have Morocco, which is not even a member of African Union because of a stupid, chronic, very long problem with Sahrawi. And although it is a very active member in the international, of course, world, and you have Algeria, Tunisia, and Libya, and Egypt. So why don't we have a North African integration that is solid enough to be able to have products that can be exchanged? Don't tell me that Egypt cannot satisfy the needs of Africa from the everyday products, the dairy, the agricultural products, even the industrial products. There is a big possibility of exports from Egypt to the region, to the whole of Africa, and we're not using this. From the North African region, we can very much satisfy the needs of Africa instead of them going to Europe or going to China or going to the United States.
We have with us on the line Dr. Sharif Al-Khoureibi, who is a member of the Egyptian Council for Foreign Relations, but maybe more importantly right now is his capacity as one of the leading businessmen within the African region. Dr. Khoureibi, can you hear us?
Good evening,
how are you?
I am.
As we talk, the 24th session of the African Union Summit is being prepared for, if we can put it that way. As someone that has a lot invested in that continent, what do you expect from that summit? And what do you, as an investor, want from that summit?
Okay, what I expect from this summit is because, Egypt came as an active member again, and everybody in African community is welcoming this step. So I think there will be more cooperation and coordination with Egypt, especially Egypt, announced its war against tourism more than 10 years ago, and it has been requested by the leaders of Egypt to look at the tourism problem as it is a global problem. So I think after the whole world, especially Europe and Africa also, and Nigeria and in many other territories, face these terrorists, I think they will concentrate on this issue, and they will ask Egypt to give help because Egypt is very well experienced in this activity.
Yes.
What I need from this summit, I think I heard your guest when she was talking about North Africa. All of North Africa countries are members in Arab League, and they are members in free zone, the very big free zone Arab area. So there is no need to make many more communities. But myself, as you know, Dina, I am concentrating on Nile Basin area because we should look and we should, take the lead on making Nile Basin as an integrated economical community, and we have all basics for having such region and just, that union or that community. Also, I'm looking to have, inshallah, to put the Nile Integra 3, the international conference for economic integration among Nile Basin countries. I asked it already to be put it under African Union umbrella, and I think I will give the approval this month. So this is my expectation. But by all means, Africa is more quiet and than Europe and than Middle East and maybe even than America. And if we look for real integration, economical integration, and we start the Nile Basin, and I think we are going to get a lot of benefits for everybody.
Dr. Sharif Al-Khuraibi, thank you very much for your input. When we talk about economic integration, we cannot ignore the fact that, unfortunately, the vacuum that Egypt allowed for, and I'm blaming Egypt because I don't have a right to blame anyone else but my own country, and because we really have, due to a lot of geopolitical issues, we have a leading role, a more responsible role to play within the Middle East and African region. That vacuum that we left enabled others, including Israel, to meddle. The Renaissance Dam is a typical example of how Israel managed to penetrate and meddle maybe in an issue for us, it's life-threatening, so to speak. Can we, at this juncture, do something about the foreign presence within the African region? And I'm talking about the foreign presence, not the physical presence, but
yes, I would like very much, Gina, to encourage investments, business Egyptian investments in Africa. I would like very much that the government give them a lot of confidence and to give them the power to invest, so that that it's usually the businessmen want security, and if the government gives that kind of security, then they will go. And we want to go out of the box. And I remember during Minister Faiza Bernada, they went, the Arab contractors went to Malibu, for instance, in Equatorial Guinea. You cannot believe how much this country played a huge role in supporting Egypt to be back to the scene in the African Union, and we were invited by them in the summit, in the last summit. So the Arab the Egyptian investments in Malibu made a big role in politics, even though it is economics. And so that is why we can avoid the intervention of Israel or Turkey or other countries, China, whatever, which showed up with,
their presence in the summit is a typical example of, yes, they're on the threshold.
I must give you a live example. I was an ambassador in Mozambique, and I received a huge delegation of 35 businessmen in Maputo, Mozambique, and the government there was opening all its doors to these businessmen, and it didn't have any, it had so many projects that could be done by Egyptians, because they have 200 kilometers of native beaches that could be done, could be made, many things. They left and they never came back. Why? Don't ask me. So that's why we should be in Africa investing in anything and in everything, because we have the capacity and we are welcomed. So we leave all this and we run after Europe and the United States, and we lose. I want to say to the businessmen to go to invest in Africa, and there are many successful examples, like without going into names.
Your Excellency, thank you very much for your fruitful input, and maybe I'll capitalize on your presence, and maybe you can give a message to our viewers outside Egypt who are unfortunately being exploited by certain international media that is putting not necessarily the correct picture in the minds of people abroad regarding turn of events, especially after the 4th anniversary of January Revolution. What message would you be directing to the people abroad?
Well, I must tell all the foreigners and the Egyptians who live abroad that Egypt is a safe country and it will continue to be safe. I was in Aswan last week and it was beautiful. It was very safe. And Cairo is very safe for tourists. I'm very surprised that not enough tourists are coming in, and because they, of course, hear the media, the passive media message that they get from international sources. But from here I'm telling everybody that Egypt is a safe country and it is welcoming all the tourists from Alexandria to Aswan. All the provinces are welcoming tourists and Egyptians abroad.
Your Excellency, Ambassador Soad Shalaby, thank you very much for your fruitful input and wish you all the best. I'd like to thank you, the viewers, and just worth noting, regardless, in a global village, which is where we, regardless of how we appear on screen or under which name, so to speak, people are no longer ignorant. Whether you are Al Jazeera or another face to the same coin, people will always put the two pictures together. On that note, we wish you a very pleasant evening and good night.